In the world of professional wrestling, the action looks larger than life. But sometimes, the risks are real. Behind the lights, the cheers, and the storylines, real injuries can change everything in an instant. WWE superstars put their bodies on the line every night to entertain us. And sometimes, the price they pay is huge. Today, we're going to talk about one of the most shocking and career-threatening injuries in WWE history. When Triple H, the Game, tore his quadriceps muscle during a live match in 2001. This wasn't just an ordinary injury. It was the moment that tested his spirit, his toughness, and cemented his legacy as one of the toughest men to ever step inside a WWE ring. Let's rewind the clock and see what really happened that night. How Triple H fought through unimaginable pain, and how he came back stronger than ever. Back in 2001, Triple H was at the absolute peak of his career. He was the Game, the cerebral assassin, one of WWE's top main event superstars. He was part of the famous two-man power trip with Stone Cold Steve Austin, a dominant, villainous tag team that ruled Raw. They were feuding with Chris Jericho and Chris Benoit in a storyline that had fans glued to their TVs. Triple H was the top guy, delivering incredible matches night after night. But then, on May 21, 2001, everything changed in just one wrong move. It was an episode of Raw is War in San Jose, California. The main event, Stone Cold and Triple H vs. Chris Jericho and Chris Benoit for the tag team titles. Midway through the match, everything was normal, until a routine move turned into a nightmare. Jericho had Triple H in the walls of Jericho, but the fight spilled outside the ring. When Triple H came back in to break up a move, disaster struck. He took a simple step to stop Jericho, but his left foot slipped, and in that split second, his entire left quadriceps muscle tore off the bone. He fell to the mat in excruciating pain. But what's even more unbelievable is what he did next. Triple H clutched his leg for a moment, his face twisted in agony, but he refused to stay down. With his quadriceps completely torn, he dragged himself back into position. Every movement sent bolts of pain shooting through his body, but he pushed it aside. He crawled toward Jericho, grabbed him, and somehow pulled him into a submission hold. He could barely stand, but he found a way to get back up. He broke up another pin attempt. He took punches. He gave punches back. He even allowed himself to be put into the walls of Jericho again, all while knowing his muscle was hanging by threads. The crowd had no idea how serious it was. They only saw a man refusing to give up, no matter what. When the final bell rang, Triple H had not only finished the match, he helped his team keep the story alive, protecting everyone else in the ring. Then finally, when the cameras stopped rolling, he was carried backstage, his leg destroyed but his pride intact. Ask ChatGPT. Most people would collapse and stop immediately. But Triple H was no ordinary man. With his muscle torn completely, he still finished the match. Not only did he stay in the ring, he even let Jericho put him in the walls of Jericho again, adding insane pressure to an already destroyed leg. He didn't want to ruin the match for the fans or the story for TV. So, he forced himself to stay in character, hit his spots, and help Stone Cold finish the match. It's moments like these that make people say wrestling is not fake. The storytelling might be scripted, but the pain can be 100% real. Doctors told Triple H that this kind of injury was serious enough to end a career. He underwent immediate surgery, and the recovery timeline was brutal. Months of rehab, rebuilding the muscle, and fighting to walk normally again, let alone wrestle. But Triple H wasn't ready to let his story end like that. He pushed himself through an intense rehab program and kept his comeback a surprise from fans for months. Every single day, he forced his leg to move, to bend, to lift weights it didn't want to lift. He spent hours in the gym, sweat pouring down his face, ignoring the pain that reminded him how close he came to losing it all. He watched old matches, replayed moments in his head, and told himself he'd walk down that ramp again. When he finally returned, it was one of the loudest moments in WWE history. The music hit, the crowd exploded, and Triple H stood there, stronger than ever. He didn't just come back to wrestle. He came back to prove that no injury, no setback, could stop him from being the game. Ask ChatGPT. On January 7th, 2002, Triple H made his shocking return at Madison Square Garden. When his entrance music hit, the crowd went wild. The game was back, stronger, bigger, and ready to reclaim his spot at the top. He went on to win the Royal Rumble that year and headline WrestleMania, proving that no injury could ever stop him. Asterisk. It became one of the greatest comeback stories in WWE, showing the world that Triple H truly was the game. Triple H's 2001 injury is still remembered as one of the worst and bravest moments in WWE history. It showed us the real sacrifice behind the spectacle. Next time someone tells you wrestling is fake, remind them of Triple H fighting with a torn muscle just to finish the match for the fans. Asterisk, who do you think is the toughest WWE superstar ever? Let me know in the comments below. Smash that like button if you respect Triple H's dedication. Don't forget to subscribe for more untold WWE stories. And hit the bell icon so you never miss an upload. Until next time, stay strong and keep watching wrestling. Asterisk.